Live. Welcome to meet me at the painting table. Today we're going to be painting some miniatures, and I actually was really struggling as to what we're going to paint today. I've been having a great time painting these Oathsworn miniatures I've been having on the table. It's just been amazing, and playing Oathsworn has been a ton of fun. But we've done a lot of them, and I thought maybe I should switch it up, maybe not. I was kind of struggling, so I still threw up the Oathsworn banner, but we might change that today as we're debating as to what we're going to paint. I'm going to put it into everybody's hands that is here in the chat. So once I get enough people in the chat as to what we're going to be painting, we are going to start figuring out what to paint. But for the time being, I'm going to kind of talk about the certain miniatures we could paint, and then we'll see what people have to say. So first off, I want to go down and show you what we have. It's going to be really super cool. All right, first I'm going to hit my painting camera, and here's my painting camera button. So the Oathsworn miniature I was going to paint was going to be this one. This is the Huntress. It's one of another playing character. Again, I try to do this as spoiler free as possible. We've just been painting through the heroes of it. Of course, I will preface that during the painting video that we're doing, you may hear some things that have gone on, but we do a lot of alluding as opposed to straight out spoilering anything. In the last chat, we had a couple of people alluding to certain things that happened in my playthrough I've been doing with Colin over the One Stop Co-op Shop, which we'll be doing our 4th encounter coming up on Thursday. So if you're interested in seeing that, please join us. We'll be doing that live again in the evening, so about pretty much the same time as we are doing right now. So super cool. All right, let's get back down to here, and I'll show you the what I really think is cool about this miniature, at least the one that I've got here on the table. The miniature, okay, this is something that Toby should be super proud of. He's the guy who designed, I believe, all the miniatures for this game. This miniature is probably one of my favorite miniatures that this place has to offer. And with the armory system, it made it even cooler. So here's the deal. The way this works is when you pull it out of the box, you're going to have a miniature that has this quiver attached back here. And then you're also going to have it holding a bow in its other hand. Now, the cool thing about, well, and of course it falls off its stand, but that's because this is a push-to-fit miniature and it's supposed to do that. The cool thing about this miniature that I find so intriguing is that its main purpose of its deal is it's not using its weapon. It's the stance that they have is super neat, to the fact that the main part of this miniature is pointing. I think that's really cool. So you get this quiver in here as such once you get in here. If I can get in there. Okay, anyway. So you got the quiver in there and you got the bow. Now with the armory system, the thing that makes this really cool is this thing can be swapped out for potentially a whip. So you can put a whip attached in here. I haven't primed any of the, what do you call these, the armory system for this character yet. But that would just go in right like this, and you'd have this thing in here. Now, of course, the arm can pop out again. And once this is in here, if I can get this in here, there we go. Okay. So this is in here just like this, standing on its rock of awesomeness. That's the other thing that's cool, is the dynamic pose of this miniature is amazing. So the other parts of the armory system, okay, check these out. These are super cool. First off, she has this other bow that could fit in here. And look how awesome this bow is. As you go through the game, you can get a more powerful bow that she can equip. And she can use both ranged and melee weapons. So she could use this bow, which would be with the quiver again. But then she also has these sword options. And the thing is, unlike other characters that are like using the sword like this or attacking with swords or things of that nature, this character actually has them more in a kind of a neutral pose. Like, look at this. Isn't that awesome? The sword's just kind of hanging down as she's pointing. And of course, she's pointing at her falcons, or eagles. I'm sorry. Her eagles are going to fly out and they do things according to the cards, which is pretty cool. So that's one of the ones. Then she's got potentially this spear that she could have in her, attached to her, which again has another type of pose. So she could have the spear and this whip. And look at how cool that spear looks inside this miniature. Absolutely fantastic. Then the final one is this one. And again, it's just not even in an attacking pose. This spear, this I guess pole arm, is more just in a normal pose, a neutral pose. So the pose of this miniature is super cool. I'm a big fan of this one. This one's one of my favorite miniature out of the entire thing, I think. Like, it's super cool the way that it's built. So we're gonna disassemble all the armory parts of this miniature, and we're gonna put back in the quiver, because that's what we're gonna paint. If we decide to paint this. Of course, I'm still on the fence of what we're gonna paint as of this moment. We're gonna put these in here just like that. And this would be the miniature we would paint as is. That's the plan. The other option we have is I got back to Shadows of Brimstone and really enjoyed my time with Shadows of Brimstone. I thought it was fantastic. Hold on a second. I have to restore my chat for some reason. My chat, as usual, is being mean to me. You're going to see some weird things appear for just a second, but it should be for only a second here. I apologize. We're going to pop that out. I've got some neat little tricks I can do, but I need them to come in. There we go. So Broccoli Docklins is here, which is pretty sweet. Nice to see you, Broccoli Docklins, as usual. We are, of course, painting. We're working on getting some awesome things up and running here. Let's see. I've got the live stream is the best. That apparently is my practice on this every time. Stopped watching Pitch Black to come hang out. Oh, that's amazing. Thank you so much. That's awesome. Howdy. Good to see you. Good to see you. So that's one of the possibilities we could do is I've been talking about how what miniature I'm going to paint. I'm not sure if I'm going to paint the Huntress, or I also primed up some Shadows of Brimstone miniatures that I haven't had a chance to paint yet. And I could potentially do like a assembly line painting as opposed to just single miniatures is what we've been doing. We've been doing like a single miniature, and then I might try to get the eagles done tonight, or I might try to do these three miniatures for Shadows of Brimstone and just show you kind of how I do speed assembly line painting, which is where you kind of take a group of miniatures that have the same concept and you kind of paint them all as one. It makes them get done in theory faster. Well, I'm not sure exactly how much faster, but they still in theory kind of get done a little bit faster. All right, so I was hoping I would have a lot of people here to help me decide what we're going to do, but so far, Broccoli, you're the only one here. So I guess you get to choose what we're going to paint tonight, unless I get some other people telling me what we're going to do. Assembly line. Broccoli Duckling wants to see an assembly line painting of Shadows of Brimstone, which could easily be done, which means I'll put this away. But I do want you to know that this miniature is super cool. That means I am going to be changing the message at the beginning of this video. I'm going to change it to Shadows of Brimstone once it posts live. So if you're here looking for a Oathsworn painting video today, probably not going to happen. I think we're going to switch to the assembly line painting so I can show you that type of painting, because we've only been doing single miniature models so far, and this way I can show you what I do when I try to do an assembly model painting. So I will say this miniature is super, super cool. Super excited to paint that miniature someday, and I might even paint it tomorrow. We shall see. Of course, tomorrow I'm also going to record my Dungeon Universalis playthrough. I've been waiting to do this. I've been working on the rulebook. I got to the first mission and I was thinking about recording it, but the first mission was it was a strong tutorial and it didn't have any of the dark player kind of doing anything. So I wanted to make one where it kind of showed all the aspects of the game in one. So we're going to be doing like the traveling to the next mission, and then we're going to be doing the next mission. So that's my goal for tomorrow, is to get all that recorded. It's going to be really neat. It is super cool. The armory system is fantastic. This is true. This is very, very true. It's super, super cool. We're going to see what happens here. If I hit some buttons, probably not going to be good, but we'll see what happens. All right. Anyway, all right. So we're going to do some assembly line painting. We're gonna skip the Oathsworn stuff. I know I said I was doing Oathsworn tonight, or I had the picture of it up there. But as I was sitting down, I wanted to do it, but I thought, you know what? I've been doing this a lot, and I wonder if other people want to see something different. And I really should have put it out. I usually send things like that out to my Patreon, but it was such last minute. I was at my kid's soccer practice. He was at 5:45 to 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, and I just kind of went, okay, I only got an hour. I'm just gonna go on and see what people want to see. So let's go ahead and get these guys painted. I think this will be awesome. So we're going to paint these three dudes. I'm going to grab my paintbrush here. I'm going to use my Winston Newton's number 1 is what it is. That's my plan. We're going to take, I'm going to use, now so I primed them white, so we're going to use our speed paints again. We used a lot of these speed paints in our last video, and I haven't, and that's the only time I was able to use them, so we're going to shake these up and use them again. I'm pretty excited to try them out. Sadly, if you notice, I am running out of space to put paints. So I actually am getting a new painting station that's going to be coming, and after it does, I want to show everybody the new painting station and show you where you can get it. I found it on Etsy, so I'm hoping I get it soon. So maybe I can have it for the next painting video. I think it'll be super cool. All right, we're going to go with this one. This is our Crusader skin. I think I think that's the only skin color. I might be wrong. Now, of course, sadly, because I don't have the, well, awesome set of paints all set up here, I'm just kind of digging through them here. What I should do is figure out what we're going to paint, how we're going to paint them first. It's always a good place to start. So we do have, of course, our flesh tone. We're going to use that. Then we're going to maybe go with, first off, we're going to make these 3 different colors here. We're going to figure out what 3 colors to paint them. We got blue, purple. I don't think I'm going to paint them purple. I'd be able to paint them hardened leather. We're going to want that because that's always awesome. I want some red. I want red, so we're going to use blood red. That's going to be sweet. Even though I had Sergeant Slaughter red last time, we're going to use blood red this time. Just to make sure there's not any other flesh tone back here. Oh, there is Crusader skin too, so we'll have to figure out. We can maybe use two different. Oh, we have two different kinds of Crusader. It's the same one. I've got the same one. That's pretty awesome. Must be one of the ones I picked up before I got the whole set. Okay, so we're gonna do that one. I think I want to do Plasmic Bolt. It seems a little out of control. Maybe this Highland Blue. That'd be pretty good. And we want some orange, I think. And then we need to figure out how we're gonna paint their skin, their hair. Some of them have hair. We're gonna paint one with, let's see here. Of course, I'll show you all these paints as we decide, but I'm just kind of digging through all the different paints right now to figure out what we're gonna paint them with. Sand Golem, we'll go with that for somebody. And then we'll have another one be, oh, let's go with kind of a, well, so hardened leather. We could paint another one's hair and be dark wood. We'll make them dark hair. Okay, we got dark hair. We got blonde hair. We're gonna have no hair. We got an eye patch on there, so that's gonna be leather. So we're gonna look at our miniature here and see what it shows. We have this guy right here. He's got a sword, got another little scabbard here. We're gonna paint that. He's got some shoes down here. They're gonna be that leather. We're gonna paint this a different color. All this is going to be that skin tone. Then he's got a little scarf here. We're gonna match that up with the color we decide for here. And then he's got hair, but he's got this eye patch on, so that'll be good. Okay, that guy's done. Whoops, I dropped him. That's good stuff. Playing some Gloom of Killforce, stopping to say hello, good sir. Dan, good to see you. Thank you for joining. I switched things up. I threw a curveball here. We were gonna paint up some Oathsworn character, but I decided we're gonna do some speed painting tonight, and we're gonna do assembly line painting. I'm gonna paint all three of these guys in one shot here and see how long it takes me. That's our plan. This is supposed to make things go a little bit faster because you can get this done a lot faster. So we're gonna do it with our Crusader skin first. I've got some good colors there I think we're gonna use. So let's get to painting. Here we go. Let's see here. It is now 8:48. Let's see how long it takes me to paint all three of these guys. Of course, it will take longer because I'm gonna sit and chat with everybody because that's the wonderful part of doing this. We're gonna put a couple drops on there. We're gonna get some on our brush, and we're gonna just start painting the flesh. There's a lot of flesh on these guys, so we might even do some dry brushing on it because it's gonna be the most predominant part of this miniature is the flesh of this color of this character. We're gonna go straight across him all the way down the back up to where the cloth is. There we go, just like that. Perfect. Go around on this side, get this all painted up. We're going to miss the scarf. We're going to get all the way down his arm here and the back of his hand here, just like that. Keep on going. And these, of course, are the village. I got these in the village expansion, the feudal village expansion for Shadows of Brimstone. Forbidden Fortress is where these miniatures have come from. I assembled them while I was watching football. That's what I do. I try to assemble them while I watch football, just because something to do while I'm watching. Especially if my team is losing. Definitely not worth watching if your team's losing, but you still got to watch it. You got to support your team. That's the deal. 8:48 must be nice. Christ Eastern Standard Time. Yes, I hear you. There are many friends I have on Eastern Standard Time, including you. That's too bad, Eastern Standard Time. Well, I mean, then of course I've got William over at Hungry Gamer always messaging me, hey, you want to play a game? And it's like 9:45 at night here, and I'm like, oh yeah, he's California time, so he's all the way over on the West Coast over there. All right, we're continuing to go through here and get some of these painted up here. He was on my Painting with Pals episode one time. If you don't know William from Hungry Gamer, go check him out. He's awesome. A great job. And also, if you're looking for some great Oathsworn painting videos, I know Mel over at Rob's Gaming Table, I think, did all the miniatures they're using in their playthrough. She actually did a full painting episodes on all of them, so they're really good. You should go check them out. She'll give you some great ideas. Okay. With the skin there, we just need to get the skin on his hand here. Flesh on his hand. There we go. Whoops, I got some on his coat here. That's okay if I get on his coat. Well, now I kind of scratched off some of the primer, and that's okay as well. We're going to go over it with paint anyway. It'd still be okay. This primer, the white primer I have, isn't as good as my gray primer when it comes, so I'm not exactly thrilled. I want to get a different bottle. I haven't been proud of it. Proud of it, like I'm proud of it. That was quite the word usage there. Get this painted up here. I'm going to paint his whole face with this. And down in there. I'm going to turn the miniature. I always spin the miniature so that I'm painting in the direction I want to be painting. I'm going to where I want to go. I never kind of hold the miniature and try to paint under it. I always try to turn it so I can paint into it. That's the deal. Go. Now, is that some more? Yeah, there is some more flesh up here. We'll see what I can do about that. I gotta get a tip back on my brush. Up a little bit. Before I go, yeah, I guess that's about all I got here. I'm gonna try to get right in here. See if I can do it. Go. And I think that's looking pretty good. That's the skin so far. We got a little bit of skin down here, I think, on his feet. It's going to be funny because it's also going to be hide a little bit, but that's okay. I think I'll be taking the plunge soon. I'm eyeing some speed paints and thinking of buying the new Turbo Dorks when they are available too. I think that'd be fantastic. You'd get a really cool line of paints that way. The speed paints, I do like the fact that speed paints are a little bit cheaper too than the contrast paints, and they do really the same thing. It's really nice. I can't play Nemesis with on Plane to Beneath at 5+ health after all. Plus 5 health if they're not painted. Loquitur Gaming, good to see you. Thank you for joining. My intro for this might be a little bit, what do you call it, misleading. I was thinking about painting another Oathsworn character, but then I thought I hadn't done any type of assembly line painting that I thought I might want to do because I really kind of want to get some of these Shadows of Brimstone guys painted, so I went that route instead. Broccoli Doc was the only one here when I started, and I asked him what we should do. He said speed painting, so if you're not a big fan, or not speed painting, sorry, but assembly line painting. So if you didn't want to see that, you can blame Broccoli Docklins. Haha, I love that. I love it. I don't have to take the blame for this. So there we go. Our first got the skin on that, so we'll move to the next one. And this is how you do your assembly line. You just keep taking the same color and keep going to town. We're going to continue on with our skin tone on all of these guys. Paint it all the way down his arm. Go. And that painted up real good. There we go. I like that right in his hand. Get that all like that. I would have never bought into Forbidden Fortress had I known how many sandals I would have to paint. Very true. Everybody wears sandals. Nobody wears boots. Which is kind of funny because I'm a huge fan of just painting a boot, just slop paint on a boot, call it a day. But with sandals, can't do that. You got to do that. That's for true. That's for true. Yes, blame me. Let the hate flow through you. That's awesome. Good work. We're going to try to paint all 3 of these, and then who knows? We might even have a chance to do some eagles here. We'll see how it goes. All the way down on that. Perfect. I really want to get the Conan game and expansion, but I fear the exact thing. Oh, yes, they have sandals as well. Pretty good. Love it. Love it. You guys crack me up. I think his flesh is on him for the most part. Need to get his face. His hair is up high. It's all tied back. I'll be getting back to Shadows Brimstone soon, which is why I want to get some of these painted up. I took a little bit of time off there to try to get... I'm working on Dungeon Universalis. I took a picture the other day. I should probably post it in the community forum and post as well to show you. It's on my table actually right now. I'm going to be recording it tomorrow night or tomorrow afternoon. I have tomorrow afternoon off. It's the kids' first day of school. This is National Go Back to School Day for kids, except for apparently the White Bear Lake School District. They go back on Wednesday for some reason. I don't exactly know why. Jared, awesome to see you. Thank you for joining. Been playing through Oathsworn and enjoying your game playthroughs. What a game, though. It is true. What a game is right. And I am sorry for the misleading thumbnail on this video. I was going to paint up the Huntress tonight, but I hadn't had a chance to do any of this. I wanted to show people some assembly line paintings, so that's what we're doing tonight. But I did have this character ready to go that I was going to paint up. Who knows? We might even get to a little bit of that tonight. We'll see how fast I can get these done. We're going to try to do these in assembly line format, so we're going to try to get these done pretty quick, is the plan. So I'm quickly just painting on some flesh on all these guys. We're going to do a little bit of down here on the soles of the feet as well, so that we can get these sandals done. There we go, right there. Put a little bit on top. And sometimes I kind of cheat on sandals. I know they're probably the back of their foot is probably like that too. I should probably paint that. I think about it, I think it probably is. Okay, we're going to paint the back of their feet just like. I should do this on the other one I did too. But the interesting thing is the other color I'm going to use on the sandal is going to be almost the same color as this, which is absolutely hilarious. There we go. All right, let's get the other foot. Right on there. Propping my hand, I'm holding my hand ever so slightly on this so that it doesn't get too out of control. I'm just going to paint the little top here. B. All right, that looks good. I don't need it to be exact. Oh, this guy's got, okay, whatever. We're going to go a little bit like this. Back here for his foot. Around. There we go. Good enough. Again, these are minions. Again, not too worried that they're not perfect. That's the deal. Canje got his Oathsworn tonight and he declined to ship it to me. Oh no, I guess I'll wait for mine. Really? You still haven't gotten yours? That's out of control. That doesn't make any sense. I feel so bad for those that haven't had a chance to grab it yet, or haven't had a chance to get a copy of it yet. That's really too bad. Not fair. You need it. Good. It's good. I actually jokingly told Canje, I asked him if he was going to be doing an instant unboxing, and he said no, he's going to do it tomorrow. For those who don't know, Canje Studios is another wonderful channel that are friends of the channel here that does some great playthroughs and unboxings. So if you're interested, go check his out. I put a link in the description of this video. It might be there right now. Otherwise, I'll have to put it in at the end. All right, that guy's done. Next guy. Look, more flesh. Just glob it on here. I shouldn't say glob. Don't ever glob paint on your miniature. Go. Yep. All the way down to where his thing. Go. Yes, if you're interested in any good Robinson Crusoe playthroughs, yes, Canje Studios is playing, was playing, I should say, Robinson Crusoe. It's a ton of fun. It's a great game. I've played it once on my channel, and that was it. I've played it outside my channel a lot. My wife's a fan of the game. Well, was. She's not too fond of it anymore because we never win. And she's a fan of kind of winning sometimes. It's a tough game. It's all about the journey, I tell her, and the experience. But, no, sometimes the game's just too tough. Too tough. There we go. Those going. Get some more paint on here. Almost know what the flesh color. I did already assemble all these watching football, which is just so much fun. It's just so much fun to just assemble miniatures while you watch football. Football's coming soon. It starts Thursday night. I'll be doing Oathsworn, but afterwards I'll probably watch the game. I got it recorded, so I'm pretty excited. Watch the recorded game. I even got a fantasy player playing in the game, so hopefully he does well and gives me points, so I win. I'm a big fan of winning. Fantasy football. Gonna go all over this guy's head because he is bald, or he has shaved his head. One of the two. Go. Just like that. Perfect. Good enough. One good thing, these guys could pass as blade dancer. This is kind of true. I mean, I could definitely make these guys a blade dancer. Kind of interesting you should say that. That is my character in Dungeons & Dragons, and I don't have a miniature for him painted yet. Maybe I'll use that guy on Saturday when we play Dungeons & Dragons. Maybe I'll use one of these guys. That might be the plan. All right. Oh, forgot about his shoes down here. The dreaded sandals of doom. Go. Around the side. I'm sorry, you might not be able to see what I'm doing right now, but I'm really just hitting the side of his foot. Paint. There we go. On there. Not too dark, so I gotta get a little bit more. I gotta do it again. There we go. Perfect. Let's get the last shoe over here. Around that side, around this side. A bit here. A little bit here. There you go. Good enough. Boom. Ricardo, hello, Barrett. Good to see you. How's it going today? It is going well. Today was the last day of my kids' summer vacation. They go back to school tomorrow, and neither of them are excited. Younger kids are usually excited to go back to school. Not mine. They don't want to go back to school. Not at all. I know you brought up Robin, and I know how she wants you to paint your D&D character. This is true. The joke is kind of the fact that I haven't painted my D&D character since my friend took over DMing, and he has, like, in theory, about 2 more sessions left, depending on how things go, and then it's going to go back to me being DM, so I'm actually going to go his entire session without even painting his character. Though all my other friends have their characters painted because I either painted for them or they came painted. It's kind of funny. I put the paint upon the skin. Wild beast Will. Yes, this is true. Will's a wild beast, that's for sure. That's amazing. I know, isn't it amazing? They just don't want to go back to school. But they're upstairs going to bed. They're going to wake up. They're going to go to school. And I'm going to kick them out the door. That's the plan. So off to school you go. That's the deal. Today we're doing some assembly line painting. I'm working on these 3 characters here. We're going to try to get them done as fast as we can. That's going to be our plan here. We got some metal on the table from last time we painted. We're going to put it all over my arm. That was out of control. Our Crusader skin is done. We might come back with that since it's one of the most predominant colors here. We might come back with a dry brush on it. We'll see. I'm not too sure. Now we're going to go to the robes that they're wearing. I'm going to go with some blood red for 2 of them, and I'm going to go with maybe a blue for another one. Now, again, it doesn't really matter how much. Do I have another color in here? I think I had orange in here. Yeah, I got fire orange too. I'll do 3 different colors. That's it. This way I can just get them all done real quick. Boom. Boom, 2 drops of red. That should be enough for one of them. We'll do this one right here. He'll be a red guy. Doesn't really matter. Go. Paint the red up on here. Now there is a sword sheath right here. I have to be careful if I don't want to paint the sword sheath. There we go. Just keep painting it like that. And he does have some pants on underneath this as well that I do not want to paint. That's the deal. We're painting up all of this red. I'm just going to say it's all one big thing that he's wrapped around himself and called it a day. The deal. So this red looks way more orange than I expected it to. I got my birthday gifts today. I got Warhammer, Quest for Blackstone Fortress, the Speed Paint Mega set, and the Metallic set as well. Oh my gosh, that's glorious. That is a birthday present. I don't think I've gotten a birthday present that good in my life. That's fantastic. Wow. So you've got the paints to go with the game you just got. That's going to be so much fun. So you've got a lot of work ahead of you, it sounds like. But it doesn't sound like work. I'm sorry. It sounds like you have a lot of fun ahead of you. That's the deal. It was a good day. Yes. That would be a good day as well. Oh my gosh. Whenever you can get paints and a game to paint, that is the way to go, I tell you. Oh, I love it. I gotta get this little part here underneath the sword. Yes, lots of painting is going to be fun. Love is going to be fun. Yes, it is. Oh my gosh. I am slightly jealous. Um, I've had actually some time off of work because near the end of the summer, since my wife is a teacher, it gets to be a little bit a lot around here. So I was able to get some time off to be able to be with the kids. Well, she actually goes back a week before my kids do. So being able to hang out with the kids one final week was a lot of fun. My son actually did he actually did some recording. A friend of his did some video recording. They record videos of with plushies, kind of, and they have like in the vein of Stranger Things as their theme. And my mother-in-law made a custom, was it? See if I get it right. The Mind Flare, the big giant thing. She did a thing for him. Very nice of her. Very nice. Wonderful mother-in-law. All right, we're gonna finish up painting this guy's scarf up here. And we hit the skin, but that's okay. I think I can get that off. Take a brush we're not using. We're not using this one. I'm just going to try to scrape it off as best I can. I think we're going to be okay. Yeah, I might go over with a little bit of the flesh again in just a second, but it'll work for now. Around and get a little bit more. And then red will be done. There we go. There. Good enough. All right, red is done on him. Boom. Go to the next guy. I have a lot of painting to do. Need to paint Forbidden Fortress, Warhammer Bloodborne, and finish Well Sent. Oh my gosh, that's not a lot of painting. That's an astronomical amount of painting. Astronomical. I have to admit, that's one reason I haven't done a lot of Bloodborne. I really want to play that game more, but there's so much to paint that I haven't gotten to paint yet that I need to, and that's one of the reasons I haven't gotten to that one yet, which is too bad. I need to get to that one again because that game is so fun. I'm thinking about doing like an October theme where like all the games are going to be not horror based, but like just Halloween type thing, and I'm thinking of going back to that game. And I might even have Colin do a live play of that with me. I think it'd be a lot of fun. We are going to probably do some Arkham-tober. Might try to do an Arkham 3rd edition. I'm also going to try to maybe do we'll see how much of a Arkham Horror, the living card game, like cycle we can get done. I don't think we'll get the whole thing done. We'll give it a shot. Because we might take a pause from Oathsworn during October to do that. We're going to paint this guy's blue. Now what I could have done is paint them all red and just gone with it, because there are, I believe, let's see here, there are a ton of different, like I haven't gotten all of them primed yet, but there's this many that I have to paint up, which is why we're trying to paint them real fast. That's the deal. We want to do kind of an assembly line painting scheme here so we can just go fast. Now of course I'm kind of breaking the rules of assembly line painting by using different colors on these, but that's the deal. We're just going to go with it. Put blue on this. There we go. Get some more blue here. There you go. Good news is all these miniatures are pretty much the same. They kind of have the sword going down a little bit, and they've got the scabbard around their waist. I'm gonna do my best not to hit any other parts because I don't have to mess with that. Now if I was doing if I wasn't using speed paints, using like regular paints, hitting other parts of the model isn't that big of a deal, but I'm not doing that. I'm using these speed paints, so if I hit another part of the model, I've got to deal with that. It's not fun. We're just going to kind of go down like that on this one, cross on these, go, trying not to hit the skin. But again, if I hit the skin, it's not the end of the world. And I got blue on my hand. Awesome, I got blue on my other hand. Because again, these are going to be kind of minions. We're not really going to see these guys all that much. Well, I shouldn't say that. You're probably going to see them a lot. They're going to come onto the board in droves. In Shadows of Brimstone. You're going to see them all the time. They're going to come out, you're going to kill them, and they're going to come out again. That's what they do in Shadow's Brimstone. There we go. Blue is done on that. Now you have to do the scarf. There we go. There. Okay. Blue's done on that guy. Put him to the side. Is there any other thing to go blue on him? I don't think so. Let's just take a look real quick. I kind of hit the scabbard here, but again, I'm not too worried about it. I'm just going to paint over it with the, what do you call it? The, where's the skin color? Skin color. Okay. And where's the other one? The red guy. Hit the red guy. Since I got a little bit on my brush, I'm just going to hit him again right across here. That part we kind of hit with the red. Done. And I'm not worried about that. Again, not too worried. These aren't the kind of minis that I'm really super worried that everything's perfect. We're going to try this fire orange now. I haven't used this color, so let's see what this does. This should be pretty cool. Fire Giant Orange. All right. Fire Giant Orange. You go right there. 2 drops of it. Here we go. 2 drops of it, and it's already on my hand. How did that happen? I can't believe I got some on my hand already. Wash that off over time. And go to town. Well, that's not bad. I like that orange. Pretty nice orange. I had the speed paint starter set, then has like 10 paints and painted some minis. They are good ones. Yes, this is true. They are good ones. And I'm having a good time with these. These work really well. They go on nice and they get it done fast. Not called speed paints for nothing. Looks good when it's done. I mean, the flesh is already dry and it looks really good. Really digging it. Really digging it. I'm having trouble with the skin. One, how do you apply it or what do you recommend? That's a great question. I just put it on as is from the pot. I know one of the things they tell you to do is like put a ton of it on your brush and gobble it on. Well, I've never been a big fan of gob paint onto a miniature. Is one thing it tells you. Like, see, I've got these little air bubbles here. I'm not digging the air bubbles, so I'm trying to pop them as I paint. I never know what that's going to do. Of course, you don't want it to, but I mean, the skin itself, it looks okay. I think it looks just fine. It's all about preventing pooling, I really feel. And I really feel these speed paints pool a little bit more than the contrast paints. And that can be good and bad. How do I do it for skin? Actually, what I'm thinking about doing with the skin tone that I've got on this, guys, I'm thinking about doing a small dry brush on it just to make it stand out a little bit more because it seems a little dark. Darker, like it doesn't have it. I'm really hoping it would shade in more is how I'm probably trying to say it. And it shaded in okay, but I want to probably I want it to pop out a little bit more, if that makes sense. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. Are you using white primer or gray? Good question. For the speed paints, I use white. The gray I use for contrast. That seems to be the difference, the biggest difference in these paints, if that makes sense. That could be why, using gray. I did use gray on, what miniature was it that I painted with gray? And then I used some speed paints on it. I can't remember. If I wish I could remember, because yes, it does make them a little bit darker. These are meant to go on, from what I understand, they're meant to go on white. How I read it. So that's the deal. Hope that helps. in a little bit there, so we'll do that in a second. On there, and that's done. Now I hit the skin, so I'm going to take that brush again that we're not really doing anything with. It's a super dried brush, has nothing on it. We're just going to kind of scrape that color off. And there, got the orange off it real fast. But in doing so, I took a little bit of the skin off. Good news is it's orange, so it's not like gonna, I was gonna touch it in there with a little bit of it. There we go. Do you know about any good white brush on primer? Yes. Okay. This is the primer I use. These are the gray and the white primer. I'll show you exactly what I use. I do not use spray primers. I use these. These two primers right here. That's what I use. If you're watching it later, you can pause the video and look at them, but they're from Vallejo. They're these two. I'm not, this one seems to be doing okay. I'm not super impressed by it, but it's definitely holding the, what do you call it, the speed paints pretty well. So I do throw these through an airbrush to make it go faster, but you can always paint this on. That's the deal. None of, doesn't seem to be anything in English. I don't know. Oh, here we go. Shake well, suitable for plastic, brass, resin, allow primer to cure before beginning massive process. Airbrush, something or other. I don't know. But that's the deal. Hope that helped. Hope that helped a lot. Maybe it didn't. I don't know. I got those two. I think they were damaged or something because they were not looking good. Well, that stinks. That really stinks. I'm sorry it didn't look. They had lots of bubbles. Ugh. I don't like bubbles in my paint. I don't know. Ugh. Bubbles. Yuck. So I shake them up, and there's some bubbles on the top of this, but I'm gonna shake it up real good and then put it down. And maybe it's because I'm throwing it through an airbrush that it makes a difference. I don't know. I'm trying to think if I even painted it on before I used my airbrush. I don't think I did. I think I've always used this out of an airbrush. So no, I don't think I know of any great just brush on primers. I'm really sorry. I wish I had an answer for you. Oof. I have failed you. I have failed you. I am so sorry, Circato Gaming. Circato Gaming, why not? I'm so sorry, I have failed you. I don't have one. If that one didn't work, that's what I use. Oh, boo. I'm gonna paint some hair. We're gonna paint hair. I'm gonna paint dark brown. Here we go. It's okay, no worries. Thank you. That's awfully nice of you. Wish I had answers. I wish I had all the answers. I do not have all the answers. There might be others that have the answers, though. Others may have them. Now, I'm not sure if he's got a hat or what's going on here. We're just going to paint it all brown. All day. There we go. There's his hair. Boom. Like that. Hair done. You know what? I'm going to keep it going. No, I'm not. I'm going to keep it going. Lied. Got a plan for that guy. Okay. Done with that. We got hardened leather. I'm going to use my gray primer from the Reaper Skin. My primer from Reaper Skin. My look darker. Or I might have to use the other skin tones I have. I mean, that could very well work. I mean, not every color is perfect. And that's just the way it goes. Like this hardened leather is a redder leather than the snakebite leather I found in the other one. But we're going to use it today. That's the deal. We're going to put it on these sandals here. Like I said, it's almost going to be the same as the skin tone. I put this on. And that doesn't matter if I hit the base because I'm going to paint that different. You know what? The minion, I don't care. We're painting the whole thing down here leather. That's the deal. We're done with that. That was a joke. Okay. The difference between that and the skin tone wasn't anything. Where did I put the skin? Oh, here it is. We're just going to paint the entire sandal with the shoe. The skin and everything's all going to be the same color here. Whoops, is that the brown? That was the brown. Oh, you know, he's got brown shoes. Yeah, bring him brown. This one's got brown sandals. That's the deal. Be a little bit different because I got my colors mixed up over there. Fine. Brown shoes over here. There we go. I don't know where it is. It must be right there. There you go. Perfect. There we go. Here you go. Loquitur Gaming. Sakoto, if you have the speed paint medium, you can add it to any color to lighten the color up a bit. Try mixing some and putting it on a paper towel next to the non-diluted color to see. Oh, there we go. See, that is massive info right there. I am going to put that back up there so you can see it and keep on reading it. That'd be great. While you guys read that, I am going to look for where I put my leather here. I think that's it. Nope, that's the... Nope, that's it. Okay. I found it. Ridiculous. Okay. Put on all the sheets of the scabbards here. There you go. That one gets one. Gets it as well. And last one. Scabbards are done. Go down here to the boots. Like I said, I'm just going to paint. Boots now. Mandals, schmandals, that's what I always say. There we go. That guy's done. I'm going to put it also on the sword here, this part here. There we go. I'm going to paint that back part silver, but I'm just hitting it anyway. It doesn't even matter. That's going to be silver. There we go. Guys, sandal boot. I call them sandal boots now. That's what they're going to be. Sandal boots. Everybody gets sandal boots. I'm dealing with all the different things. All right. There we go. Sandal boots. Momentum Hobbies white primer is supposed to be good. I haven't tried it yet though. There's another good Loquitur Gaming there to save the day. He saves the day more than anybody else I know. He's a super good painter. If you're interested in learning anything about painting and need to know some more, please check out his channel. He does painting videos as well. He even is rumored to throw his paints around, which is pretty amazing. I've only done it once, but I at least kept the cap on my paint. I kind of laugh about that with him now. So it might still be too deep of an open wound right now. But good news is it didn't get in the miniatures he was working on. But that's definitely something that's almost worth going to see right there. Sorry, Liquid. I'm a horrible man. Now this guy's got an eye patch on. We're going to paint this eye patch on. Right. Let's see how I do. Now, if you notice, this is not like drenched in paint. I'm really kind of not, there's not even much paint left on this brush when I'm painting this around. I know I'm not going to get like what they're saying, like the deep recesses of it or anything like that, but I don't really want that. I want that just be like it was a normal paint, if that makes any sense. Yeah, semi-pro tip of the day. Make sure the paint is all the way closed before you shake it. I feel so bad. That was unbelievable. When you told me about that, I couldn't believe it when you said that. It's like, well, my last stream, I shook the paint and went out. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. That's too good. I only managed to lock myself in this area and couldn't move because I had too many cameras next to me that I couldn't go get the paint that I threw on the ground over there the one time, which is pretty funny. All right, we're continuing. We're moving along. You need some hair. We're going to use sand golem here. That is the next deal here. Sand golem, yes, you can make sure it is filmed live so you can never deny it. And I should make that like one of those like shorts for you. That should be pretty good. Pretty good. All right, sand golem is going to be next, and I think we're going to be done. Whoops, well, I dropped the cap. That's only half the battle, right? Okay. We're going to have to screw that up. All right, now the sand golem we're going to use for his hair, which looks just about like the eye patch we did, so that was super good plan, Barrett. Should have maybe gone with yellow or a more non-same color. Wow. Oh well, you know, it's okay. I'm still learning these paints. Didn't think that the interesting thing is I love the color for hair. It's great. It just looks like the same color as my eye patch. So that was kind of a bummer. We're also going to use that right down in here. We're going to paint up their trousers they have with the same color just because I got it. So it's not really as dark as that's. Oops, I hit the sword, but that's okay. I'm going to paint the sword metal. There we go. If I paint this red, I'm not too worried about it. Go. All right, that guy's pretty much done. We can do the next guy here. Color? Yeah. No. Where do I put the yellow now? Okay, these colors all look very similar when they come out of the bottle. That's the problem here. You guys are the same way here. Uh-huh. All right, that's done. Next guy. Oh, he needs some blue done again. I missed some blue on this guy. There we go. Thanks a lot. Be right back. Yes, please come back. It's good to see you. Got a good. I'm excited for you with all your fun paints and fun. I need blue. Where did blue go? Blue's over here. I missed some of his cloak down here along the bottom, so we're repainted a little bit. I don't need to worry about getting too far under it because you're not going to see under it. I just need to make sure I get. There we go. Okay. Only we got left is some metal, and we're going to be pretty much done. And for this, I'm just going to use gunbolt metal. And normally I would put maybe a, what do you call it, a wash on it. I might not even do that. We'll see how this goes. Because again, these are just going to be little super duper little minions. We're going to zap them off the board. They're going to come back. They're going to keep coming back, and they're coming back, and we're going to keep killing them. I'm going to go down the blade. Paint every one of them the same blade here. I put that. I want to be kind of careful here because I don't want to get too close. There we go. If I hit the fingers, I'm not too worried about it. There we go. That sword's done. Next sword. Start the little back part here. Done. Okay. Come through. I'm putting just barely anything on this brush for this first part. I want just the very tips of my brush to hit this. There we go. Now I can get some more. Down to there, down to there. And there we go, all the parts. We did. Good. Very good. Done. Last one. I hit the back part first. I'm just going to touch the back part. I don't need to go too much more in depth than that. Got a lot of paint still on here, so we're just going to go paint a little bit around. Just like that. More on my brush. Just touch where I want it to go. Okay, now I can paint. There we go. And boom. All four of those guys are done. How'd I do? Less than an hour, 3 guys, no problem. Pretty good. That's pretty good. Now we're not totally done. I did say I wanted to put a wash, so or a dry brush. So we're gonna dry brush this barbarian flesh on just to see what it looks like. We're gonna put that on a little bit here. This is the dry brush. If I want to have the most control, I use this one. I do have some other ones that I don't have as much control over, and I haven't had a chance to buy the ones I want. Thomas Clark, yo, good to see you. You're just in time. We just finished. No, I'm kidding. I didn't just finish. I got pretty close though. Broccoli duck was nice. How many things have you thrown on the floor? 1. I've thrown only 1 thing on the floor. It was the cap to a paint so far. So I've only thrown the cap to 1 bottle of paint on the floor. Working on more. Working on more. You see, you rest assured it'll happen. Let's see. We're just gonna kind of do this on a few of them here. Now this might be a little bit too peach for this, but we'll see. That'll be fine. I'm gonna do too much, but that's okay. A little bit for each person here. Person gets a little bit more. Every person gets a little bit of love on there. Got a crack. That's not a good sign. I don't know what cracked. I'll find out pretty soon when it falls apart on me. Now this dude gets a lot of dry brushing. There's not a lot of noticing effect on this, but that's okay. Did notice one thing about this miniature. When I built it, I did not realize until now that I did not file that off. That's one of the parts of when you take the miniature out of the plastic and you put it together. But I'm okay with that. Yeah, those guys are done. I have to base them, but I can base them on my own. Oh, or should I base them now? Let's base them now. Why not? What are we going to lose? All right, what are we going to base them with? Let's see here. How about, let's do mud. Let's do some mud. We're going to find some, ooh, I go. We're going to do this. This will work out pretty good. I've got Armageddon Dust. Armageddon Dust. We're going to use that. This is a technical paint from Citadel. I don't even know if they make these anymore. I think they still do. These are interesting because I'm actually going to find a dead brush. I want a dead brush. This one will work. It'll work right here. Okay. That's the deal. I didn't even see what you're talking about. No cutting off. I'll try to show it again. So whenever you come with a thing from Shadows of Brimstone or anything from that company, it comes on a sprue. Or sprue, I think. Find one. Here's one. This isn't a Shadows of Brimstone one, but it is something very similar. They come in these. And then you clip them off with a clippers. Kind of like when you're doing Kingdom Death Monster stuff. Clip them off, glue them together. Now when you clip them off though, parts of the miniature, like where you actually clip it, I'll see if I can close here, where you clip along these things, then I go in with a file and file it down so that I can get rid of any of the parts where it clips, where it actually clips on. Let me show you. We'll do this. I'm going to clip this out. This, by the way, is a giant phoenix that I have to make someday. So if I'm doing this, I'm just going to clip around. See, where am I? Oh, right there. All right, so I'm going to clip around this thing. I'm going to try to get as close as I can to this model. See what I can do here. Got a little clipper thing. Clip around each one, trying to get as close as I can to it. But no matter how close I get to this, once it's done, you're going to see parts of it that are still on there. So this is where it was attached to this sprue here, here, things of that nature. So then at this point I would take, I have a whole set of files over here. As you can tell, I've been through a lot. I've filed a lot of things with this thing. And I just file them off. And file it down until it's like, and I kind of rub my finger over it until it gets to a point that's really close to nothing. And do that all the way around where all the different things are. Even if it means taking off a little bit of the actual model, it's not the end of the world. I'd rather have myself take off some of the model than have any of those little bumps showing up. Because if you don't, then when you go to paint them, as you can see, there, right there, where this paint is one of those bumps that I forgot to file off. So it's kind of sitting there. So, but yeah, it'll be okay for him. I'm not too worried about it. Hope that makes sense. Yeah, I need to get all these off. And the worst part is now I gotta actually do this one because I'll forget what parts I did and what parts I didn't. Or where it actually clipped off the thing. This is what I do when I'm watching football. I'll sit here and clip and file things away. Until I get things smooth. I'm happy with it. And sometimes it even sticks out more. And I just go ahead and clip that off so it's closer to it. I go in. There you go. Hope that makes a little bit of sense. I'm sure it does. Wait, we're throwing things on the floor again? What'd I miss? I filed the mold lines too. Yeah, it builds character. No need to file the chip off the warrior's shoulder. Exactly. He's got a chip on his shoulder. That's exactly what I was thinking. No, don't worry, Morganite. You have not missed too much. I have only thrown a bottle of this paint. I threw it on the ground. I'll take that afterwards. Not the end of the world. Nothing too major yet. But I was just showing people how I go through all of these mold lines here and get rid of them. That's the deal. Now I do have a whole set of these files, and I actually have these too, which we're about to use. I've got a set of these files that have all different types of shapes and sizes to them. So one's like just like more of almost a knife looking thing. I've got this one I use quite a bit. This one's kind of got a round, it's got a rounded edge, an oval edge to it. That one's kind of nice. You have to get into like some of these oval edge areas here. I've got a full round one that's 100% round. Kind of cool. Helps again getting into some of the weird spots. There we go. That one's done. Supposed to be a painting video, and here I am filing off this miniature now. I got all the parts. All right, so that's what I meant by when I saw I left a little chip on his shoulder, like you said. That was absolutely awesome. So that's how I do that. Maybe I'll come back to do an assembly. Maybe we'll do a Shadows of Brimstone assembly day someday. But now we're going to move into putting some of this onto the miniature. We're going to base this guy, or all three of them, I guess I could say. I'm going to base all three of these guys. That's going to be the plan. Big glass of water first. Go. It's fine if a nub is left on the character or enemy, you can just paint it brown and say it's part of the arrow that couldn't get out. True. Too bad it's not a shuriken. I can make it a shuriken. I have a character that's shuriken. Pretty good. All right, so now we're going to base them with this, because why not? Because I got it. We're going to base them with this. That does mean I'm probably going to have to base all of them with this, because that's the deal. That's why I didn't care that I painted the base, because I'm just going to put this stuff on. This stuff, we might use this. We'll see these things right here. These are sculpting tools. This is something you can use. A lot of times I can usually get it to do what I want with this brush. So you can just put this on here. This is some type of, this is a, they call it, let me take this up. This actually, you don't have to shake up too much because it's got sand at the bottom of it. It's a basing paint. So you're supposed to, and you're supposed to just be able to pull it out of here, and it's supposed to look very mud-like. There we go. Ooh, yeah. So it looks very mud-like, as you can tell. Here we go. You just pull it out, and you can put it onto the base, and then you just push it around. Now, this paint does it. For what it does and how much you need to make it work, it does cost quite a bit. Not very cost effective, especially to put on probably minions, but that's okay. We're just going to put it on here. And now I'm just going to push this around on the base. But I want kind of enough of it because once it dries, wherever you don't have it, you'll see kind of the old base, if that makes any sense. You want to have at least a good layer of it on here. Now it is a paint. You want to try to not get it on the miniature itself, but you're still going to get some on the miniature for how thick you need this to be on the base. So it's not the end of the world if you hit the miniature with it. And you do need to get it like underneath the miniature there. Because he is kind of like standing in this sand then, is the deal. That's exactly what this is supposed to look like. It's supposed to look like a sand. I figure I'd use this stuff because they are part of the village dealie. So most likely, the village probably has some sand roads and things like that in it. That's what I was thinking. I decided to use this stuff. Now this will take longer than this episode to dry. I'll have to show you the finished product of this maybe next time. Because of how thick this goes on. It takes a night to set and everything, so. But they used to have some that were really cool that would actually, sadly, they went the way of the dodo. The paint, if you put it on thick enough, it would crack in certain spots. So it'd kind of look like, it would open up like parts of the earth. You can kind of see through it. So I actually took it and I on my, I'm going to call it, I don't remember what these are anymore. My Warhammer guys, I used to play a group of Warhammer guys. I painted the entire base like red or blue and then put a layer of this stuff on. So when it would crack, part of it would split open. You'd see the red and blue underneath it, which is pretty cool. Yeah, I have a stack of Warhammer minis I need to build and paint, and I'm definitely putting it off for right now. Well, yeah, and they're just going to keep sitting there. I have found that that's one of the biggest blocks to painting is having too much. When it came to Warhammer, I finally got out of that rut I used to buy like whole army. We're talking 1750 to 2,500 points of army. And then build it all and be like, okay, now I'm going to paint it. And I never would. Mainly because, well, there was too much. And it was overwhelming. So I've started just doing box, and a box, and a box. And I have a tendency to get more of it done that way. It's so gloppy and greeny brown. It looks like something a cat would cough up. That's great. That's super great. Sweet Lord, good to see you. Just finished assembling and plastic cementing all my Shadows of Brimstone minis to their black bases. Also now side-eyeing my new can of Army Painter White Matte Spray Undercoat. What to do? Oh, that's awesome. Yes, paint them with the primer and then go into town. And we're actually working on Shadows of Brimstone tonight. I know my thumbnail's a little misleading. I wasn't sure what I was going to do tonight. I had this person ready to go from Osworn, but then I thought, why don't I do some assembly line painting? So I have been assembly line painting these guys, which means which that means is I take each one of these. They're all pretty much the same type of model. So we take one color and we do that on all the models that need that color. Then we go and do the same color in other models. So for example, we took all the skin tone and painted all three as a skin tone. And it gets things done faster than painting each individual mini, in theory. And now we're doing is basing. We're going to base them all exactly the same. I'm just going to put this stuff on them and call it a day. This right here is this technical basing paint that is from Greem's workshop. I'll show it to you in just a second. It is this stuff. This is called Armageddon Dust. Now I've got a whole bunch of these. I've got, to reach across the thing, Martian Iron Crust. Oh, I can't even talk. And let's see what else I've got. I've got this one, which is Argolian Badlands, which is I think the one I should have used on this, but that's okay. I think I've got it. This is the what it used to be. This was the older one, the Argolian Earth. It used to be what the Badlands were. This is the one that would split open. I actually went specifically out looking for this because it's super cool. But I haven't had any games that involve me putting miniatures into the desert again, or like an apocalyptic worldish type events yet. So I haven't had a chance to use that in a while. So I need to get a game like that maybe. That'd be good. Put people in the desert on a horse with no name, right? Is that a good joke? Was that a good joke? I like that joke. I'm pretty proud of myself. Keep on going around here. These all with this paint on. And again, you glop this on. I mean, this is like gloppy paint. We're done with that one. There we go. What I'm doing now is just looking around it to make sure there isn't any. I can see a little bit of teeny gray here. The reason I'm doing that is I'm going to go around and paint the rim of this black. Or I might just paint the rim of this with this color. Let's do that. Paint the rim of it with this color so it still has a little bit of the texture on it, but whatever. Here we go. I like this better. There we go. All the way around. There you go. Now to get just the paint of this, I might just put a little bit on there and see what happens. So it still has maybe a little bit of the sand in it, but I'm looking more for the paint color now. Now another thing you can do while this is drying, it might not hold forever, and you eventually might have to glue it, but you can add little tufts of things to this if you want to. I'll show you. Army Painter is where I get these from. There you go. Let's see here. Now I've painted this whole thing, rim around it, that same color. Perfect. Good. Barrett, that's awesome. Thank you. Okay. I'm going to take some of this stuff. These guys. I think I got these. I want to see this like $8 each, maybe. Once you get into this hobby, you're always buying stuff. You're never done buying stuff. That's the deal. You're never done buying stuff. Can I get away with just repainting the bases black after applying a white matte spray paint? Or is there a sort of strategy to whether or not to do them? No, just go ahead and paint them black again. You can do that. That's not a big deal. These, like you can see, these are, this one right here, for example, I'm going to paint the rim of that black. Even though I've already primed it white, I'm just going to totally paint this black. Not a big deal. You just take your black paint, paint right over it. Super, super easy. Super cool. Watching what you're doing now, that settles that. Good grief. Glad to hear to learn more, though. Watching what you're doing now, that settles that. Good grief. Glad to be here to learn more, though. I'm glad you're here as well. And of course, in the comments, of course, you'll find a whole bunch of people that know a lot more than I do. My favorite fancy paint that you're used is still that thick, dark, red, drippy blood paint that you use on weapons. Oh my gosh, I need to make more. I have to use that more often. But it's so hard because I don't consider these guys like bloody murdering people, so I can't really use it on these guys. The paint he's talking about is this stuff. This stuff is super cool, and I don't have a reason to use it yet. It's called Blood for the Blood God. It's a technical paint from GW. And yes, it pretty much makes it look like you have blood on your weapons or your claws or whatever it is. And really just, you can make it even drip off. I've got really cool... Okay, so if anybody's ever watched my Kingdom Death Monster videos, I did the Butcher. And the way I did the Butcher was before that paint was out there. I found a video on how to make blood look good on miniatures, and normally I don't do it. And so I was really looking for a good video. I found one. No idea who it is, where I found it. I couldn't even give you the address to look it up right now. But he taught me this really cool technique. What what you do is you take, it was really cool. I took a piece of hair that I have, glued that to the miniature, or dipped it in super glue, and then glued it to the actual axe handle, so that I had this piece of hair with this super glue. But the super glue is thicker, so it actually drips down. So it's really thick near the bottom, but clear to the top. And then painted that red, so it almost looked like this, like blood was just dripping off of it. It looked really cool, and I was very impressed that it actually worked. And it's still to this day on my butcher miniature. I will write that down somewhere in my brain, because I don't have any pieces of paper. I have paper, but I don't have a pencil. Oh, what am I talking about? I got pencil right here. I got pencil right here. It is a it's a Ticonderoga pencil. These are the best pencils you'll ever find. That is an inside joke my wife and I have. She's a teacher. She knows the best pencils on the planet. She always makes fun of the fact that these are the best pencils ever. So if you're ever looking for the best pencil ever, a Ticonderoga pencils are the best. I'm going to write down butcher, because I said I was going to show that. I'm going to show you what I did with that in the next video. I'll write that down. There's something else I was going to show people too, and I forgot now. Failed. See, that's why I need to write things down. There you go. Put that over there. So anyway, back to here. So I've got all these different ones. I've got green ones. I've got brown ones. I've got, what's this one? Frozen turf. I don't know. And then this one, mountain turf. Basically brown, and green is what I'm seeing here. So it's just a matter of which one I want to use. I think I'm going to use these. These are what we're going to, the Highland turf we're going to use. And what you do is you just take these things off, put them on your miniature. Easy as that. Oh, actually, you know what? I don't know if they're going to look that good on this. We'll give it a shot. What the heck? What's the worst thing you can do? Not be as good as I'm hoping. That's the deal. Kind of like my hair color with the leather paint. That was awesome. So here we go. We got our things here. Whoop, now I guess put them in the paint. That was awesome. Okay. And you just pick the size you want. They go from big to small. We'll take this one right here. I've got a tweezers in my little stash of stuff up here. I've got so much crap up here. Stuff. Here we go. Up here, I've got so much junk. It's ridiculous. Here I've got flowers. I've got flowers. I'm taking a load of these. Got some flowers I can put on their base if I wanted to. Pick these up from $6. Long time ago, though. I don't know what, they're probably $12 now. Let's see what else I got. Oh, here we go. We got these. I got leaves. I've got leaves. I want to put leaves on a base. I got leaves. I've got more green ones. Maybe let's use these green ones. So I got these here. I've got moss. And it's not Randy Moss. It's just moss. You can put moss on a base. And this is the trick. I'm sure people might know this trick. This is cork. Small pieces of cork. If you paint it gray, it looks just like rocks. Super good looking rocks. They actually look better than real rocks that never actually look as good as that. If you ever want to make snow, I've got snow powder. You mix this with Elmer's glue or PVC glue, and then it turns into snow. What else have I got? I think it's about all I got in here. Oh, and I got a Con of the Rings token, 2019. I went to the Con of the Rings in 2019. I'm going back this year, too. If anybody's going Con of the Rings, I'll be there. With Colin and Steve from the One Stop Co-op Shop and Terrence from the One Stop Co-op Shop. We're going to play some Lord of the Rings together. It's going to be awesome. Grass. Yes, the blood for the Blood God paint is so cool. I think you used that on a couple of Bloodborne minis, didn't you? Yes, I used it on a bunch of Bloodborne minis. That's what I need to write down. I'm going to show that off, but I can't. What do you call it? I don't. Or maybe I'll find a mini I can paint that's going to use it. But I don't know too many minis I'm going to paint that are going to be able to use it. That's my problem. So I'm going to pull out my Bloodborne minis again. Or if you want to go, or I can maybe paint some Bloodborne miniatures again. I've never a problem painting those. I'll use them in Dungeons and Dragons and stuff. Steve, good evening. It is good to see you. Greetings, sir. We are painting up some Shadows of Brimstone. We're putting some basing on these guys. I've got these little tufts of grass. I'm going to pull them off with my tweezers. And since this paint hasn't dried yet, I can just stick this wherever I want. I'll put it right there. That's a good spot for it, right in the middle. He's a happy camper. There we go. That guy's done. We got a piece of turf on him. Now let's go to the next one here. Where did I got so much stuff on my table after I'm showing everybody my stuff. I don't know what I did with my brush. Here it is. This is the brush I'm using, right? Yep, this is the brush. Okay, found our brush. Let's continue. We're going to continue going here. I got some more of this. I'm just putting on the basing, and then we're done. I attempted to assembly line paint these guys, I guess you could say. But And I'm going to get it all done. We have 3 guys done. I was done with all of them up for the basing in 45 minutes. I think I got them done. So about 15 minutes a miniature. Not a bad deal. I'll take that for $1. All the way up to the side here. And like I said before, you want to put this on thick. Because wherever you don't, it's going to be, you can tell, you'll see the base underneath it. Now, I haven't used this in a long time. I can't remember exactly how this one dries, so we'll look at these. One thing I'm trying to do is remember to show people what I did the week before so people can see kind of the outcome after everything's done, unless it's completed by the time we finish. So like the last one we did the War Bear, and we were done with that one. We got that done. That was pretty good. We got that done. But these guys I'm going to bring back the next time so you can see this paint after it settles, what it looks like. Because we might get lucky. That one that I did first might dry in time, but I don't think so. Taking more of this globby gop paint here. Globby glob. Glooby gloop. Spread it all around. There you go. Sadly, some dried out. It's been a while since I've used it. Oh boy. That'll be plenty. I'm gonna push it around. Now, one thing you could do is I could use these sculpting tools if I wanted to push the paint around is another option. That's why I brought these out here. I don't actually use them for what their purpose is, which is for sculpting with, like, for example, green stuff or any other type of clay products or something. I don't have any of that repertoire. I'm not that good. Like I said, it is going to get close up there. You might even put it over the guy's boot a little bit. Not the end of the world. And yes, he's using, I invented the sandal boot today. I said I wasn't going to deal with 2 colors down there. I tried to, and I failed miserably. Just painted them all, the foot and everything. Sandal boots. I should market that. Bring that to Shark Tank, sandal boots. There you go. Oh, that's probably so much. Back. Guys, they're walking in the sand, so they get some on their boots. Not the end of the world. There we go. I think that should be pretty good. Oh. Hit the rim. That. Around. There. We'll put a little thing on him too, why not, huh? Shark Tank, I can just imagine the reaction Sandal Boots would get from Mr. Wonderful. Yes. Wouldn't that be awesome? Shark, I've got sandal boots. Okay, here we go. We'll put this one over here. And now when the paint dries, that should dry into it. There's a chance it might not, and if it doesn't, you can just use glue. Where'd my glue go? Got glue. Oh, there it is. You can just use Elmer's glue and glue whatever you want on the base. That's what I do. I could glue like moss, I could glue a rock on there, I can do whatever you want. But use Elmer's glue, anything that dries clear. I mean, that's really the deal. Alright. Glue anything to the base you want. You can go out and get a real leaf. My Arachnarok Smiter I used for Warhammer, don't anymore. Actually has real sticks and real rocks that I threw onto its base, and actually it's standing over this pool of liquid water that I have back here. Is it right here? Yeah, liquid water. Nope, that's cement spray. Phoenix spray. I use that too. Back here. This is my water. my realistic water I got. If you can create an area, like for example, if you create a pool enough, you can, like for example, if I wanted to, I could put it in here. Now, of course, you have to watch out because this stuff will, it is water, so it is going to try to go to the lowest point. That's the deal. I've even seen people use oregano for leaves. Yes, that's another thing. I mean, I've seen people use coffee grounds for rocks, like for dirt, a dirt path or something. Use coffee grounds, ground like from any coffee company. Totally fine. Things are everywhere. You don't have to buy the stuff from like Army Painter that I have. I mean, you can get these from, like I said, you can pick up real rocks if you want to use them. It's totally fine for the bases. Works great. We got one left here. One left. My brother was little. He thought Elmer's glue was liquid white cheddar because it had a picture of a cow. That's hilarious. I mean, I hope he's okay. I'm sure he is, and I don't mean it as in like, that's hilarious that he eat glue. I can't believe it. It's hilarious. I never would have even thought about that, but now I think about it, why would you put a cow on the cover of a glue bottle? Oh, wow, what do you know? Milk. I mean, makes sense, kind of, to a younger generation. I never even thought about that. That's amazing. That's amazing. I'm tearing apart tea bags for basing materials. There you go. There's another thing. Tearing apart used tea bags for basing materials. So that's the best part. See, it doesn't. This all leads to. Did I really get? Okay, somehow I managed to put metal on my hand, and I only have it in one spot, and it's right here, and I didn't touch it. So where did I get the metal this time? How did I get metal on my hand? Oh, no, it's on both my hands. I got metal everywhere now. World will never know. Oh well, that's what. Actually, I should almost talk about it. I've got a soap that is used to help take paint off. And it's not like one of those ones you use for when you're like, it's not like when you paint your house with it. You had to use that liquid, was it ether or something to kind of get the paint off? No, this is like it's like an actual paint thing that does it. See, consistency. Yes, consistency. That is the deal. Well, we're just continuing on getting this stuff on here. It's interesting you should say that, metal. My D&D group, I think I've mentioned this before, we call ourselves the Metal Legion. Because all the names of our characters all make the word metal appear. It's not exactly the spelling of it, but pretty close. My wife thought of that. She's one of those really good people with like letters and figuring out words. She does those word puzzles every day that I can't do. I probably could if I tried. She's just an expert, so that's the deal. What's T. Clark got for me now? Of course, my brother also was the same knucklehead who poured an entire bottle of V8 in the fish tank because he thought the fish looked thirsty. So thinking Elmer's was cheese isn't so outrageous. Oh my gosh, that's awesome! Oh, the fish are hungry. We give really V8. That would be what you'd think. That's pretty amazing. I'm pretty impressed there, bro. Thomas. That's definitely something. Wow, that's amazing. Yeah. Oh, those things have to come up quite a bit too. I'm sure you guys have a lot of fun stories. That's for sure. That's okay. I'm sure my wife has some good stories for me too. Like, why would you think that's a good idea? And if she was watching right now, she probably would. But school has started, so I think it's past her bedtime right now. I could be wrong. She could pop up any second here. But being a teacher, she's usually in the summer, or the summer is over now, so she usually goes to bed a little bit earlier. This is my 1 day of vacation to get my kids out. I had Tuesday and Wednesday off, so it's kind of nice. I had today and yesterday and tomorrow off, so I can see them out. The door for school. Paint the rim of the base. Sadly, this is my oldest's least favorite month, he's told me. He does not like September, because September reminds me he has to go back to school. He doesn't like school at all. Too bad. I actually used to like school. It was just those 7 classes that kept getting in the way. There you go. I think that'll be pretty good. Oof. All right, 2 of these things. Why would you think that's a good idea? Wife stories are ambiguous. Can confirm wife's also a professor. That's awesome. Oh my gosh, that's sweetness. Oh, that's amazing. Yes, I think I get a lot of, why would you think that's a good idea? Like, I think I've heard that many times from my wife. Oh, I just good plan. Nope, not a good plan. Okay. I got 2 of these tufts left, so we're going to use both of them on this guy. We're going to put one there. I got this last one left. I'm going to throw this out. We're going to put another one back over here. There we go. There we go. That close that up. Now, let's see here. What's the first one we did? I think this was the first one, and it's still not dry. None of them are. So I'm going to have to show those off the next time we get together. That'll be the deal. Now, it's only 10 o'clock. I got tomorrow off, right? We should do more. Do more painting. That's the deal. We speed painted through 3 guys. We got 3 guys done in an hour and 15 minutes, give or take. Including basing, everything's done. We're going to put those 3 to the side. And let's see if I can find a good spot. Over there looks good that they can dry right over there. Who knows? Maybe it'll be dry by the time I'm done. Let's work on that archer. I think that'll be really cool. The huntress. All right, my water's done. Since I've only thrown one thing on the floor so far, probably keep going, right? Unless you want me to finish. I can be done if you want. I don't want to be done. If you guys want to be done, that's fine. I'm going to put up some more. We're going to spin my paint palette so I don't get any of the colors screwed up with anything. And we're going to bring in this miniature. Now, I was talking about this miniature earlier in the broadcast in case some people missed it. This has to be probably my favorite miniature Toby has done. This miniature isn't my favorite because it looks neat, has lots of things. I really like the pose and how it functions. This one's armory system is bonkers awesome. Here's the armory pieces. For those that don't know how Oathsworn works, it can kind of be a what you see is what you get kind of concept, which is a very Warhammery type thing. And so it's pushed to fit so all these arms and stuff can come off. So she has 3 different bows she can have. This one, for example, look how cool that bow is. That bow is absolutely ridiculous. And the cool thing about this miniature is the focal point of the miniature is her not like attacking like most people, like the War Bear's got his big axe coming up, or the Blade's got his sword out, stuff like that. No, hers is like sending out her eagles, which we have right here, which we're gonna have to paint up as well. Maybe we'll work on the eagles tonight. And I really like the fact that this miniature has more going in that direction than anything else. I tried speed painting once. My fingers ended up looking like a paintball factory exploded. That is awesome. Like for example, this is probably one of my favorite ones. That she can put a bow on where she's not even using it as a bow. She's just kind of holding it in place like that, pointing at her eagles to tell them to go do stuff, which is absolutely sweet. And if you didn't like the bows, you can use the weapons too. Like she's got a sword, but instead of the sword being like up in the air ready to go like you'd think, nope, it's right hanging out right in the ground. Boom, just like that. Super, super cool. I really like this miniature. This is probably, like I said, I think it's my favorite hero miniature. I mean, she's got a spear that kind of almost sticks more to the, it's like up in the ground, just like that. Super cool. And I don't have any of the armory stuff primed, so we're not going to be doing any of that. But I do have the miniature itself ready to be painted, so we could work on that. But I think we're going to do the eagles, because the eagles are going to be pretty quick and easy, I think. If we look at our picture again, we've got eagles. Eagles look like they kind of just have the black feathers with some gray here, so it's going to be really quick. I'm going to paint pretty much all of them with a dark black and dry brush them white with some yellow down here and a yellow on their beak, and they're going to be, we're going to call it a day. That's going to be all we're going to do for the eagles. Now, that means these eagles, I'm probably not going to get them done. And the cool thing about these eagles, I don't know if people have noticed, but they can come off of these pretty easily, so you can paint them and prime them without having to worry about hitting this, which is cool. So I'm not going to have that on that because I don't want to paint that. What we're going to do is we're just going to take Gravelord Gray here and paint the entire mini with it. And then we're going to come through and heavy dry brush certain parts in white and certain parts in gray. I'm actually probably going to keep... Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to paint the wings and the tail gray. We're going to leave this white, and this white, and I'm going to dry brush the wings white and dry brush the other parts gray. We're going to try and blend it all together. That's going to be the plan. See if we can do that. We're going to put this there. And before we go any farther, I'm not going to be dumb. We're going to do the gray first. So I'm going to take this gray, uniform gray. We're just going to put a couple dots out here. There we go. Maybe a little bit more. If I look at looking at the picture of that I see here. I'm looking at this picture. Maybe be better from here. Look at this, and I'm going to be doing the under part and the over part here gray, and I'm going to then darken the head, and we're going to darken the wings. I think that'll be the deal. I think that should be okay. I think they'll be okay. What do you think? Think it'll be good? I think it'll be good. So right through here, we're just going to hit this. We're going to try to darken some of these wing feathers here. Not a lot, just a little bit. There we go. We're just going to dry brush this gray onto this. So it still has a predominant white. I still kind of want the predominant white part here. There we go. I think that should be okay. There, I think that's going to be, it's got a little bit of gray, just enough to kind of notice that you did it, which is all I want. I've hit the wings, not the end of the world, because we're paint those with the gray. Get that out of here. I don't want to hit that by accident with the... There you go. Dry brush a little bit on there. Perfect. Just like that. Good. Done. Now I want to get this wet, and now I want to dry this off like there's no tomorrow. So I'm going to like dry it on my cloth quite a bit because I want to make sure I get all that paint out. Because when I use this again as a dry brush, I don't want any paint from that on there. Get rid of all the paint on that. Perfect. Okay. We got that done. Now let's go to our gray that we put down, which is right here. I could go back and find out if it's there, but I'm sure it's right there. We're going to take that. We're going to paint all of these eagle wings, these back here, with this color. And then we're going to dry brush white on top of that. I'm going to kind of do downstrokes here to make it so it doesn't blotch onto there. So just like that. And it's going to be pretty nice because this is a nice organic bird. It's a model, but it's organic. So if you're not perfect, it's not the end of the world because it's a very organic feel to it. Up and down, up and down. I might even just kind of just that. Just going back and forth across these feathers here. This is going to look super good, I think. Now it's already drying because I'm kind of moving the paint around fast. I'm not using a lot. I'm not letting it clump. I'm not using like glops of it. I'm really like I'm making it follow itself, and when I'm going back down, going with downstrokes, gaining more of the paint, moving it to parts that haven't been painted, and then going back and taking more of that paint off. So it's almost like I'm really not even using it as a speed paint is intended. I'm using it more just to get this color gray onto this bird. As you can tell, it's not really sitting in the recess as much like you would normally think one of these paints would try to do, because I don't want it to. But I also don't want to see white when I'm all done, because I'm going to go back and dry brush the white, and I think that'll really make it stand out. So there, this is exactly what I want my wings to look like when they're done here. And I love that I can show it to this camera because it's actually shows me exactly where I missed some of it. Oh, nice. Now we're going to go to the other side over here. This other wing. We're going to do that. I'm just going to start in the middle so I can go back and forth down to the bottom. That. Back and forth all the way down this wing, going up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. Almost like I'm dry brushing this, but with the speed paints. I do want the paint to get everywhere. I don't want parts not to be painted. Wherever I see a part that's kind of darker than the rest or lighter than the rest, I'm going back and trying to hit it. There you go. I think that again is going to look pretty good. All right, I think we got those wings pretty good. We'll flip it over. Bottom part of these wings. Our paint palette there. Again, going back and forth on the wings. Just want them to be gray. That's it. There we go. Put some more on my palette because I'm out. Put it. Grave hole, Grave Lord Gray. Make sure the cap's on. I know. Kind of ran into that one part. That's okay. Now, I do want to hit the head too, so I want to take some of this off. I also want to hit this head up here with darker stuff. But I don't want to hit the beak. I hit the beak. That's okay. Come back and deal. Actually, I think it'll be okay. And now I'm kind of got a lot of this paint off, so I'm kind of blending it in, that darker stuff down there. There you go. Blended it up here a little bit. Kind of dabbing it in. And we got our head is also that gray, but it's kind of dabbing in with the other part. Because remember, we want to keep this a little bit lighter. We want to keep the bottom part a little bit lighter as well. So it's not still maybe a little bit darker. So I'll try to hit that with some of the white when I do the dry brushing. I don't have any dry brushes. I haven't dry. Must have. Look like it. Oh well, that's okay. Be fine. We'll go back with some white. And then even here, it's not the best blended, so I'm going to kind of do it a little bit. There you go. Dab. Dab, 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 dab. Perfect. Okay. What I call thing with the gray. And then when I did the dry brush of white, I could have put a stronger dry brush through there. And I probably might still go with the white on there anyway. But now we're going to go over to this wing. Do the same thing. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Down onto the tail feathers. Got a lot of paint here. I can soak up a little bit. We're going to try that on this one. Try it on this one. We're going to paint all this thing. I got a plan. We're going to paint this whole thing with this gray. Then we're going to go back and dry brush white over the top of it. I'm even going to dry brush some brown on the spots too. That's too dark. Go. Oh boy, I put a little bit too much paint on that one. That's okay. We can soak it around. Go. Paint and moved it. All I'm doing is moving paint around. There's a lot of paint on here. Taking it with me. And now actually there's a lot of black on those back tail feathers, but I think that looks kind of cool, so I don't want to take that. Might get both these eagles done. We'll see. Might not, because it's paint night. I dry fast. We'll see. We'll see. There we go. There. Our bird looks good enough the way it is. I'll dry brush some white onto it, and this is all going to be yellow and stuff like that. Okay. Black's done. Now we need to get some white. And I really want to just use this white. We're just going to use this white, and I think this should be dry enough that we can... That'll be the deal. Steve says it looks great. Thank you, Steve. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We're going to try some of this. Hey, Barrett, how long have you been playing fantasy football? That's a great question. I used to play when I was in high school. Then I went to college. Didn't get a chance to play too much in college. And then I left the country for 2 years and lived in Poland. When I came back, sadly, all my friends that were playing fantasy football got together to start playing fantasy football again. I was out. So sadly, I was not allowed. I couldn't get back in because I already had 12 people. I didn't want to have any more, blah, blah, blah. So last year, Peter from the One Stop Co-op Shop asked if I want to join a fantasy football league, and because I'd been talking about it, and I said, yeah, I'd love to. So I joined his fantasy football league last year. So this is my second year of playing fantasy football. So we'll see how it goes this year. That's the deal. All right, so now this, we're going to run these across the feathers. It should bring it back up. We want to get that white. I'm going to come up. I'm coming up on this. There's a little bit of difference between that wing and this wing. Not a lot, but enough. There is a fantasy football league where the losers of that league must get tattoo of the winner's choosing. That's hilarious. Nope, I don't play that one. I don't play that one. Hey, Board Game Maelstrom is here. Good to see you. Good to see you. Thanks for joining. We are painting. So we've been doing a lot of painting, actually. I've gotten a lot of stuff done today, which is pretty sweet. But right now I'm working on this eagle. which is the plan right now. I'm going back and forth in these wings with some white to kind of bring it out a little bit. You know, this looks when it's all said and done here, but deal. There you go. I just read that one year the loser had to get a tattoo of Justin Bieber. Oh my gosh, that'd be terrible. I got all the regular figs primed except their birds. That's brutal punishment. That is brutal punishment. Oh my gosh. Nice. Except the bird, their birds. Yes, this is I'm actually working on the bird. We got her primed too. We're not gonna work on her tonight. This was my original plan tonight. But instead, I decided to paint some Shadows of Brimstone miniatures just to kind of doing like an assembly line painting here. Like we did these guys really fast. We got these guys all done. That's the deal. I might have to brush prime so I don't mess up the clear bases. Oh, that's every day. Amazing. Either that or mine come off and they're not supposed to. I don't know which one. Yeah, we did some assembly line painting here on these guys. And then I decided that I have some time left over, so we're working on these eagles really quick here. Let's see how much of this eagles we can get done. Oh, I'm working on this one. We got some of the wings. I think it's okay. That's a little bit. I want more of the white on the inside and less on the outside. I'm going to kind of lighten up as I go towards the outside. I think they'll be okay. I think that looks okay. I also want a little bit more area. Oh, I'm really digging it in. I do the underside of these wings. Oh boy, I got a little out of control there, but that's because once it kind of screws around a little bit, I think it'll be just fine. Yeah. There we go. That should be fine. It's working. Let me get some more white. My white's a little stuck together. I might have to get some new. I have to open up the bottle. That's here. Hopefully, it makes the tips of these wings really stand out. It's kind of good. Boom. I think we're going to be good on that one. Or on the back tail. There. We're going to get the bottom of the tail feather. Okay. So, just want to stop by and say hi. We had a busy weekend, so I didn't get to the story mode of mission 2 done yet. Oh, we gotta get working. No, I understand that. Like I was telling people earlier today, it's this is the busiest week for one of the busiest weeks for our family because this is the week that my wife goes back to school. My kids are not in school yet, so I had to do a lot of work. Not a lot of work, but I had to hang out with my kids, which was pretty sweet. Played some games. I went to different places, hung out with grandpa and grandmas and stuff like that. So we did a lot of fun things together as families. But my wife had to go to school for all week last week, so it's a harder week. And then now that the kids go back to school tomorrow, so life goes pretty much to a normal pattern for a while, which kind of helps out. but understand how those work. I do have the second boss painted, though I'd like to show you anyway. I can send a pic. Yes, there should be an email address in the description of this video, and it's on all my videos. It's meetmeatthetable4@gmail.com. You can always email me there. I have no problem getting people. And I'm probably, I've been having people ask me for a Discord. I should probably set a Discord up at some point. I haven't done that yet. I should probably do it because people want to do that. Cool, I'll send it to you. That'd be awesome. Because I could get pictures, because not only could you send them to me, then you throw them in the Discord, and a lot of people like to see it. Sweet. Super, super sweet. So that'd be sweet. We'll go back down here, and I think we're almost done with this eagle. I've got a couple things more I want to do. We want to use some yellow. See if I can find yellow in this mess of paints. I found Zealot yellow. We're gonna try this. See how this goes. It's gonna be a disaster. We'll find out. We'll shake it up quite a bit here. I never use this color. We'll see how this goes. Now, interestingly enough, I'm not gonna be painting this over white because I've kind of painted a little bit of a gray already. That's okay. Yellow out there. Take my brush. See what happens. I really just kind of want to get the beak with it. Actually, it looks pretty good, I think. Kind of get in the eye, too. There we go. And now we're going to get the talons as well. Actually, now I think about it, I'm going to go back and paint the talons black after I get... I can just paint them with a flat black. And that'll be better. I'm going to paint these chicken leggy things yellow. It goes down there, not a big deal. It goes onto the where the talons are, because I'm going to paint those. I think that'll be okay. Now there is... Yeah. Couple things left. I do really want to get that white. Sorry. And of course I grabbed the claws because that was brilliant. Okay, totally fine. I can get a little more white out of this. Take it right off the top. There, that's way better. I like that way better with the white. Yeah, super better. Super better. Love it. Okay. And let's see if we can paint that black right on. That stuff dries pretty fast. And what color do I paint the eye? Do I go with black or do I go... Yeah, I think I just go with black. I'm gonna use a small brush. I got a small brush here. I got this real small one. We're gonna use a real small one. We're just gonna hit these eyeballs. I almost want to do them red, but I'm not going to. That looks good. Now let's get these talons. Okay. See them first. Oh boy, 46-year-old eyes. Let's see how these go. Okay. They say in theory these like the dinosaurs of the air or something. Yeah. A couple more. Gosh, my finger got birds away. That claw my go. That's okay. Go. And last talon here. There. Look around the miniature, just spin it to make sure I didn't see. Look here, I missed this one. Spin the bird. There we go. Boom. One more thing I want to do. I want some fur brown. Whoa, okay. Close, almost got on the ground. Saved it at the end. That's leather brown. I don't want leather brown, I want fur brown. We got monster fur brown here. Here we go, monster brown. Monster brown. That's what I want. Oh, we've got actually fur. We got a fur color. If I have fur brown right here, but I want monster brown. That's what I want. Right here. Oh, that's a absolute mountain of brown. I don't need that much brown. I just want a very small bit of brown on a dry brush. Again, now this one I'm actually going to take almost all the paint off because I don't want much of it on there at all. I get a little. Rub it across the way. And of course I touch the talons because I'm a genius. Call me genius boy for nothing here. That was amazing. We're just dry brushing a little bit that into these wings. It's going to make it look. There you have it. A little bit of that brown in there makes it look a little bit better. And I probably have to redo some of these talons now because I touched them all. That's awesome. Go with the talons, make sure they're not too badly messed up. Just the yeah. And see if I can find the stand for it. There it is. Touch the talons. That was sweet. I touched the talon. Don't touch the talon, then I touch the talon. Now, where'd that stand go? Probably dropped on it. Probably drops on the ground. That's usually what happens. Oh, nope. Did it fly over here? Well, now I got so much stuff up here. Yes. Oh, there it is. Here it is. Okay. Let's not screw this up. Boom. Right in there, it fits. Eagle, done. I guess you could say the eagle has landed. I'm a funny guy. Super funny. So there you have it. That's again our painting stream for tonight. We did some fantastic work. We got what do you call it? We've got the eagle done from the huntress. We got another eagle I'm working on. We're gonna probably work on that maybe next time, or I might do it on the side. We got 3 guys from Shadows of Brimstone, so that will be coming back again soon, I hope. I've got more to go on that one. I think I've got another 9 of those guys to do, but we're able to get 3 done technically in about 45 minutes. So that would only take me another, what, 45, I can do some counting now in math here. So there's here, 1, 2, 3, there's 3, 6, 9 left. That'd be an hour and a half, 2 hours, 15 minutes, and I can get all of my Shadows of Brimstone guys on. That's the beauty of doing these things in a, and I could even do these even probably a little faster because I can do them all at one time. White, I can then take them, make them white, and then instantly do all of the what do you call it, the skin tone for all of them in one fell swoop, instead of doing 3 and then stopping. So that'd be probably way easier to do. We got those done. We did not get the Huntress done, which is my original plan. I'm probably going to change the name of the stream to not Oathsworn. Because we didn't really do Oathsworn. Probably maybe push a Shadow Brimstone thing up there for people. Thank you for the stream. Steve says you are welcome, sir. Thank you for joining. As always, it's great to see everybody in the chat. It's so much fun to have you all here. It's great to have some great painters here that can help those that need to know more about painting. Because again, I am not the greatest. I just like to do it, and I like to be able to help people learn how to do it. That's and I like to make sure that people can understand that anybody can do this. It's not. There's no super secret tricks. There's no. Nothing that we're doing that is behind the scenes that nobody will ever know about. This is strictly how it goes. You just throw the primer on, throw some paint on, and call it a day. That's usually what we do. So again, if you're interested in what's coming up, I'm going to be doing, tomorrow I'm actually recording, not live, it's going to be a video on demand, Dungeon Universalis. I'm starting that one finally. I know I keep saying I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. Got through the rule book, got on the table, did the first mission. I'm not going to record in the first mission. I'm going to record in the second mission, but at least talk about the first mission. Then we do have Colin coming on Thursday for the Oathsworn encounter for mission 4. Super excited for that. Then after that, we'll be back to painting on Monday. And hopefully Dungeon Universalis will be hitting the channels over the course of that week. I think it'll probably be 2, maybe 3 videos of it. It's an immense game with a lot going on, and I want to make sure everybody is able to follow along as I do it. So I want to make it it might be a bigger video than I normally am. This is a pretty big undertaking. I'm pretty excited to do this. This will be really cool. So thank you so much for watching. If you're excited to see more painting, more Oathsworn, more Stars of Icarios, more great videos, then of course I need you to meet me at the table. And the best part is you get to meet me live at the painting table, which is super cool. Again, thank you all for being here. It was awesome to see you all. Have a great time. I will see you next week. Goodbye.